All right, Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, screwed by the system. Look, I read an article. Can't even tell you where it was from. It's in our group, Counterpunch Boxing Talk. You guys come join the group. Facebook, Counterpunch Boxing Talk, not the like page, the group. Anyway, a lot of you guys coming over there to talk boxing, so welcome. We appreciate it. But anyway, I read this article, and rarely do I read anything online that motivates me to make a video. But it did just that. It kind of goes back all the way to the amateurs. I'm going to skip the amateurs. I'm going to skip the Olympics and get right into the beginning of Golovkin's career and kind of give you guys a glimpse, I guess, of what took place. Okay. And like I said, it was a great article, and I'll leave a link in the description box below, so you can check it out for yourself. But the new, okay, and the new. Every time I can hear it in my head. And the new middleweight champion of the world, Canelo Alvarez. Right? Does it sting a little bit? You know. I mean, seriously, does it kind of hurt a little? I mean, if you're a good, fair, honest, good-hearted, legit boxing fan, it should sting a little bit because we know the truth, right? No matter how hard the diehard Canelo fans try to convince us otherwise, we know the truth. I'm not, and look, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but it's important that people like me and people like you talk about this and get the truth out there. There's a reason one of the judges in the Canelo Mayweather fight had it a draw, okay? Canelo was completely schooled in that fight, and yet a judge actually had it a draw. There's a reason we had a scorecard like the Adelaide Bird, the 118-110, and that reason is killing boxing, okay? Look, don't get me wrong, and I hear it from all you guys. I mean, every sport, it has its fair share of corruption. I get it. Unfair decisions, things like that, But no one can hold a candle to boxing, not the NFL, not the NBA, not the NHL. No one can touch the corruption and the unfairness that's boxing as we know it, right? And it goes back to the beginning, the four kings, the golden age of boxing. We can go back as far as you want to go. I'm not even going to talk about it. I was going to talk about actually he was the first African American heavyweight champ, from my hometown. I'll make a video about it, but it goes back to the beginning. So, but anyway, Triple G, okay, signs with what was it, a Hamburg-based I think it's Universum Box. I can't remember exactly who the promotional company was, but his original promoter, Universum Box, I believe, right out of the amateurs, racking up an impressive string of knockouts. And of course, there was the stablemates, Felix Strum and Sebastian Zabik. Okay, like I said, we're going back to the beginning. Now, hang on, let me give you guys a new picture here. There's the group right there. Now, two of the best middleweights competing at the time. Long story short, Triple G terminates his contract, after being placed behind Felix Strum and his fellow stablemates. Triple G was constantly trying to fight the top guys, and at that time was constantly denied the opportunity. He was basically benched, okay? Screwed over by his promoter, back in the day. Felix landed a TV deal, along with the WBA, helping him avoid Gennady Golovkin, which, if you know your history, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody was advancing except for Gennady Golovkin. So Triple G looks to America, basically hooks up with Abel Sanchez, right? Like I said, I'm giving you guys a little bit of the backstory. The aftermath of breaking his contract with Universum meant Triple G could no longer compete in Germany or stateside. Fast forward a little bit, 2012, somewhere around there, I forget, and Triple G finally gets his big American break on HBO fighting who? Parag, right? You know your history, Parag. But he had the terrible back injury. The fight never happened. And I always wondered, what would have happened if Golovkin, was able to fight Parag? What would have happened? So the backup plan, Southpaw Praska, right? And this fight gained Gennady Golovkin a national notoriety, moving him into the world's #2 spot. Only Sergio Martinez and Daniel Gill standing in his way at the time. But we know the landscape of boxing, it can change. And but back then, that's how it was, right? That's how it was. So, like I said, the two top guys ahead of him, again, Sergio Martinez, Daniel Gill. But moving forward, right, things change, right, and all of this led to the fights with Matthew Macklin, Curtis Stevens, those types of fights. I mean, people always ask me why he fought those guys. I mean, like I said, there's a reason for it all. Okay, Miguel Cotto's upset over Sergio Martinez in mid 2014 delayed his advancement even further. Okay, and around that time, the name Canelo Alvarez started popping up. So this was back 2013, 2014, and that Canelo Alvarez name started to pop up. Canelo beats Cotto, right? Goes on to defend the WBC against the rock-solid Iron Chin Amir Khan in a title defense matchup. That's right. It's crazy. Look, every time I talk about that Amir Khan, Canelo fight, I can't say it without laughing. So Canelo claims he's not, truly a middleweight. He's not physically a true middleweight 160-pound fighter. Drops the belt, tells Mauricio Sullivan, the WBC, you can't tell me what to do. I'm Canelo. You don't tell the Canelo what to do. Vacates, right? And, and by the way, I want to break down Gennady Golovkin's amateur career in another video in the Olympics. I kind of wanted to talk about it today, but, not enough time. Just simply not enough time. Let me find like a better picture for you guys. I don't know. I'm just like scrolling. I'm actually on my phone sitting on my patio right now. So you got to kind of forgive me because, yeah, it's kind of hard to do this when I'm just out here sitting on the damn patio. But anyway, Canelo moves back. Canelo moves back down 154 to light middleweight, and we get the Canelo-Liam Smith fight. Canelo moves back up. Canelo moves back up, but not to middleweight. Remember, not to middleweight because he's not a true middleweight. Instead, he moves up to 164.5 above the middleweight limit at a catchweight to fight none other than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. After beating Chavez, we finally get the original Canelo Golovkin fight. Okay, so I'm giving you guys a timeline here of what happened, from the beginning to the Hamburg promoter, Universum, Univision, whatever the hell. Somebody tell me who it is. I forget. But you know who I'm talking about. He was benched. I mean, throughout the peak, I don't say the prime, but, especially when he was an upcomer, and what would have happened? Like, what would have happened if they would have made him the featured fighter, the premier fighter? If he wasn't benched, what would have happened? So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just giving you guys a brief glimpse into Triple G's history. Like I said, he was screwed over from day one. Okay, so we get the original fight, Mexican Independence Day, September 2017, and we all know what happened. Canelo lost that fight. Okay, but yet again, Gennady Golovkin screwed over, and the fight was declared a draw. Most educated, unbiased observers agreed Triple G won that damn fight. It had nothing to do with being biased. It is the simple truth. Okay, as soon as I heard 118, 110, I was just shaking my head. I knew the fix was in, right? As soon as I heard that scorecard, 118, 110, I'm shaking my head, okay? And look, I could see, and there was even pictures, I could see the defeated look on Canelo's face, okay? The worried look on Gennady Golovkin's face, knowing he was about to be screwed over yet again, okay? Again, right? Look, body language never lies. The face doesn't lie. The eyes don't lie. Canelo, he knew that he lost that damn fight, okay? If you could turn the sound off and have people watch it and say, who do you think is the winner and who do you think lost? I mean, you could see it on his face, right? I mean, it's just body language. So, but anyway, along with the countless, and here's the thing, and I want to talk about Canelo. His narcissistic tendencies, I think, has convinced him that he won. And he's surrounded by yes men, constantly cheering him on, telling him he's the real champ, he won the fight. So I really truly believe that over the past year that's gone by, year and a half, whatever, I think in his mind he really truly believes he won the original fight. I mean, if you're surrounded by people you trust, love, and respect, and they're beating it in your head, I think you're eventually going to maybe believe it, but also think if he's being honest, he knows he lost. So, look, Oscar even called it a shocker, okay? The majority of the media had Triple G winning. Something like 80% of the public had Gennady Golovkin winning. It was an overwhelming victory in the public's eye, but what can you do? There's no rule, there's no punishment in place for an incompetent or corrupt judge. All you can do is change the outcome in a rematch. We get the rematch, and I believe Gennady Golovkin wins the rematch, but it wasn't as convincing. So now here we are again, right? Here we are again. But Truth is, the system has failed Gennady Golovkin. Boxing historians, writers, reporters, book writers, authors, what the hell ever, they're going to look back at this moment in boxing history to use it as an example to what's wrong with boxing, because this is going to spill over. Look, what happens today will affect tomorrow, okay? So what the corruption today is going to spill over, and it's going to affect the fighters tomorrow. That's why I get so passionate about it and upset about it, okay? So I don't know. And now I'm also hearing that Gennady Golovkin is no longer with K2 Promotions. I haven't confirmed that yet, but apparently he left Tom Loeffler. Someone put up an article in our group, but I'm not quite sure about that. So I don't want to put fake news out there, no clickbait crap, things like that. But I do know one thing. I don't want to see Golovkin come back and have like a Canelo Rocky Fielding moment, right? I want to see Golovkin against good quality opponents, right? And I think he's got about maybe 3, possibly 4 good fights left in him. If he gets an early knockout, maybe 4. If he has hard fought fights, maybe 3. So I think right now, being a free agent, I don't see him signing like some long-term contract because I don't think he has it in him, So I don't know. Look, I just wanted to throw a quick video out there, kind of explaining to you guys from the beginning. I know it's random and all over the place, but, he's just had a bad rap from the beginning. He really has. I mean, all the way back, like I said, to the amateurs, to his original promoter, and my question is that I ask a lot on the channel and to my boxing peers and friends, I ask, what would have happened if Golovkin just said, no, I'm not going to fight Canelo. I'm going to go after Billy Joe Saunders and become the undisputed middleweight champion. Like, what would have happened? And I think, if I had a time machine and I could go back and change anything, for Golovkin, it would be that. I think his biggest curse, not his biggest curse, but it's in the top 3, was chasing Canelo. And do you blame Golovkin? I mean, maybe you kind of, look, I mean, he certainly needs to take, some of the blame, right? Because, I mean, all we heard about was, the belts, I want the belts, give me the belts, that's all we heard. And then it was, oh, forget the belt. I believe it was the WBO that Billy Joe Saunders is holding. And I forget who has it now, but, back then, that's all we heard was the belts. And now, all of a sudden, it's Canelo. Like, oh, no, we want Canelo. So, but I think in their mind, they thought they could get in there and beat Canelo like they did and then move on and capture the belt. So I think that was their plan all along. Now, what their plan is from here on out, I don't know. I have no idea. So, and here's another thing, all you people out there, claiming that, I'm always hating on Canelo. I'm not hating on Canelo. I operate under facts, okay, and truth. I believe telling the truth, not a half truth, but the full truth, and I've given out my fair criticism to Gennady Golovkin. And one of them is, I believe, they chased the money. They chased the Canelo train, the cash train, instead of going after legacy. They picked money over legacy, and that's where they made their mistake. And now they're in this situation, but ultimately I do feel bad for him, but I don't feel too bad for him because he's made a lot of money. He's made history. I do believe he will be in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and and he's not done. That's the thing, people. He's not done. So I don't know, guys. I'll probably leave it at that. I just wanted to kind of share a little bit from this article because I thought it was very, very intriguing. And, we see these guys fight all the time, and we don't think about their backstory. Even Canelo, all you people that think I hate on Canelo, look, I probably know more about Canelo than the hardcore Canelo fans. I've actually spent time with Canelo. I've covered multiple fights. If I saw Canelo right now, he would know who I am. Like, if I walked up to him right now, he doesn't know my name, but he knows who I am. Can you Canelo fans say that? Probably not. I doubt it. So I know what I'm talking about. I've been around Canelo for a long time, covered multiple media events. I've interviewed him. Same thing with Oscar De La Hoya. So, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not coming from a place of bias or hate or nothing like that. It's honestly how I feel. I feel like the system has completely screwed over Gennady Golovkin, and they favored Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it's a fact, right? It's a fact. I mean, how can you have 2 fights with Triple G? most people believe you lost, okay, and then turn around and get a $365 million deal, okay, and then go on to fight a guy like Rocky Fielding, and it's like the crowd didn't even care. Like the Canelo fans, they don't even care. It's like, oh, whatever. They just want to see Canelo. It's like he's become an attraction, not a boxer. He's like, you know what I mean? He's like a sideshow or like a movie star. He's not even like a boxer to a lot of these people. So I guess I look at things from a boxing purist point of view. And that's how I break it down. I want to see Canelo fight the best. Sure, okay, great. You jumped up to 168, grabbed a belt. Great, good for you. Okay, now it's time to get back to business. I want to see Daniel Jacobs, which I strongly believe this Cinco de Mayo 2019, we're going to get Canelo, Daniel Jacobs, and probably 2019 we'll probably get the trilogy. Maybe, who knows? But here's another possibility, and I'll end it here. Golovkin, okay, in his next fight, what if he loses, right? What if he looks bad? What if he goes against, Brandt? Let's just say, Brandt. Remember, they were trying to put together the Moretta fight. Brandt beats Moretta, and, but now Brandt has that belt. What if he goes against him and he doesn't look so great? Then there's no appeal for the third Canelo fight. So in Triple G's next fight, he needs to fight a quality opponent, okay? Quality opponent. And he needs to look good, okay? We can't have a decision. We can't have a Golovkin getting tired or getting hurt or getting wobbled or gassing out. He needs to look good. And then I believe we will get the Canelo Golovkin Triple G 2019 in September. I think September, okay? So that's what I think. So anyway, what do you think, guys? Leave it below.